Hello, I'm Allegra Madsen, the program director at Frameline, and welcome to Frameline 45. This is my first year in this role at Frameline, and I am super thrilled and honored to be a part of this historic legacy of queer storytelling and to be a part of the Frameline family. San Francisco is emerging from a year of hibernation, and our friends at Hilton San Francisco Union Square gave us a little sneak peek of the Cityscape Lounge where we can see our city behind me emerging from this year of quarantine. And Frameline is coming out with a bang as well. This year we're going to be at Oracle Park with 2 movie nights. We'll be at the drive-ins and we'll be back at the theaters. We will also be streaming nationally, so tell your friends and family across the country, tune in to frameline.org. While we feel that the entire program is absolutely stunning, the programming team and I want to take a minute and share a few titles with you. First up, for me, is Language Lessons, and this is the festival centerpiece. This film, directed by Natalie Morales, she also co-wrote and co-stars with Mark Duplass, is for me the film of our times. Over the past year plus, we've had to put our trust in each other and our belief in honesty and our shared human connections, and we had to believe in this even when we were only tethered together via our screens and our gadgets. This is so beautifully and hopefully illustrated in Language Lessons that it is a film not to be missed. Next, I'd like to highlight our Juneteenth spotlight screening of Ailey. Juneteenth marks the end of official slavery in this country, and it is the celebration of our ongoing and constantly evolving struggle for freedom. And I'm thrilled to mark this holiday with a special drive-in screening of the powerful documentary Ailey, which chronicles the life and achievements of one of our queer Black visionaries, Alvin Ailey, whose contribution to beauty and our fight for freedom cannot be overstated. Join me at Fort Mason Flicks for this stunning film. Switching gears a bit, I'd like to talk about one of our exciting U.S. premieres, Jump Darling, directed by Phil Connell. This will be streaming, but is also one of our premieres that will be in person at the Castro Theater, and I cannot wait to see you there. Come say hi! This film features a powerful final performance from the legendary Cloris Leachman. Join us in person for this sensitive film about relationships, family, and aspirations. The final film I want to talk about today before handing it off to the rest of the team is a candy-coated reworking of Shakespeare's As We Like It. This all-female cast flips the Bard's comedy on its head and creates a genderqueer, manga-inspired world that Shakespeare never dreamed of. Do not miss it. Thank you, Frameline family, and I'll see you at the movies. Roll the clip of As We Like It.
身心安康符，打开平安符。我爱上了一个人，托巨能。
如果我变男生，会有人喜欢我吗？
你是罗斯福吧？你爱他什么？他眼睛。
真爱你真，不男不女。
Hi, I'm Peter Stein. I'm Senior Programmer for Frameline. Thank you for joining us. There is such a rich array of films from all over the globe in this year's festival, really something for every taste, and I'm happy to point out a few eclectic highlights of mine. One exquisite documentary that was a standout from this year's Berlin Film Festival is called Instructions for Survival. It's an intimate portrait of a couple, Alexander and Maria, living in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia, who basically have to live in hiding at the margins of society because Alexander is a transgender man who cannot live openly. Now, the film is shot with tremendous empathy under very difficult circumstances and reveals how so many people around the globe really still cannot enjoy basic freedoms as queer people, but learn to be resilient. Again, the film is called Instructions for Survival, and the director will be joining us for a Frameline talk, which is free, called Humanizing the Other, Films Against Hate, because a number of this year's films speak to our current moment when we're grappling with intolerance, anti-Asian hate here and abroad, xenophobia. Now, that talk is also going to include the film team from Nico, which is having its North American premiere with us. Nico is a tender drama about a young Persian woman in Berlin whose life is changed when she's attacked for being a foreigner, but she finds a very interesting way to fight back. Now, another drama that is having its North American premiere with us this year is Firebird. It is based on the true story of a jaw-droppingly dangerous secret relationship that took place over years between a Soviet Air Force officer and a young private back in the 1970s and 80s. Now, Firebird is in English, and it was co-written by and stars Tom Pryor, whom you may remember from The Theory of Everything, where he played the young Stephen Hawking. And we're thrilled that this North American premiere of Firebird will not only be streaming in our digital screening room, but the director and the two stars will be here in San Francisco at the Castro Theater for their theatrical premiere on June 27th, just like in the old days. So you won't want to miss that screening. Now, on a more local and a more poignant note, we are honored to present the world premiere of Prognosis, Notes on Living, which is the final film of Oscar-winning documentarian, LGBTQ activist, and Frameline Award winner Deborah Chasnoff. Several years ago, when Chas was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, she decided to chronicle her own journey and that of her wife and her family as they faced an uncertain future. It's a beautiful, emotional, and even an inspiring film, completed according to her wishes by her Bay Area filmmaking collaborators. It's a film as much about love as it is about illness, and certainly about persistence. We'll be offering Prognosis, Notes on Living as a special free screening with a live Q&A on June 19th, with an encore the following week. And finally, a film for all lovers of literature, drama, New York high society, and Southern Gothic bitchery. I invite you to enjoy Truman and Tennessee, an intimate conversation. The film weaves together the writings, letters, and rare interviews of two gay literary lions, Truman Capote and Tennessee Williams, who were friends, frenemies, rivals, kindred Southern spirits, troubled geniuses, and out gay men way, way, way before their time. Now, in this documentary, Tango, some of their writings are voiced by Jim Parsons as Truman Capote and Zachary Quinto as Tennessee Williams. Here's a peek.
Here is a man who has devoted his whole life to art and is a genius.
Why do writers fall in and out of friendship with each other?
Well, jealousy, don't you think?
Most people think because somebody is a creative individual, they must be intelligent. It is not so, like Tennessee Williams.
Capote's a liar, and everyone knows he is.
Hi, I'm Mariana Lopez, Membership and Development Manager and a programmer at Frameline. I'm so excited to talk to you about two of my festival highlights in this year's program. Sweetheart, the smart and funny first feature by UK writer-director Marley Morrison, is a delightful coming-of-age story centered around socially awkward and environmentally conscious teen AJ, who is dragged to a coastal British holiday park by her painfully ordinary family. As AJ wallows in her current circumstances, she becomes unexpectedly captivated by a chlorine-smelling, sun-loving lifeguard named Isla. This endearing, lighthearted romance will definitely bring the laughs and smiles. You don't want to miss the US premiere of Sweetheart, available to stream June 17th to the 27th. The second film I want to highlight is the world premiere of director TJ Parcells' personal and moving documentary, Invisible. This film shines light on the queer and lesbian singer-songwriters whose contribution to the country music scene provided some of the greatest hits sung by the likes of Willie Nelson, Reba McEntire, Johnny Cash, and Blake Shelton. Parcell brings their hidden stories, songs, and stunningly beautiful voices to light in this affirming and sensitively produced documentary featuring stellar interviews with music icons like Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris, Pam Tillis, Shelley Wright, Mary Gauthier, and Ruthie Foster. Invisible is available to stream June 17th to the 27th. And if you're in the Bay Area, you'll also have the opportunity to watch it at the Castro Theater on Saturday, June 26th at 3 p.m. If you love Invisible, and I mean, how can you not, you'll want to check out the documentary Fanny and join us for our Frameline Talks panel, Women in Rock, with the filmmakers and talent from Invisible and Fanny. The viewing time for this talk is June 25th at 5:30 p.m. Before I hand it off to the next team member, please enjoy this clip from Invisible.
I don't think I ever regretted being out. I think I thought it would have been a lot easier to be heterosexual. Besides, I mean, come on. It's so obvious.
There's no getting this in the closet. There's just no closet big enough for this.
I mean, I can split wood like a lumberjack, you know. I mean, I just wanted a pair of khaki pants.
I mean, there was Mick Jagger and David Bowie and, you know, the androgynous men who were out there doing their thing, but there were no androgynous women.
Hi, my name is Dominique O'Neill, and I'm the Programming and Hospitality Manager at Frameline 45. I'm looking forward to the Frameline Completion Fund films that we have at the festival this year. Our Frameline Completion Fund supports filmmakers in the post-production stage of their films, and we're excited that 3 of this year's awardees have finished production and are being shown at the festival. One of those films is No Straight Lines, The Rise of Queer Comics, a documentary directed by Vivian Kleiman, a local filmmaker, and we're very excited to be showing this film at Frameline as the Bay Area home for the film. It premiered earlier this year at Tribeca and documents the history and successes of queer comic art. The film features folks like Alison Bechtel and Howard Cruz, as well as some other very talented comic artists and their stories. Another film is North by Current, another documentary directed by Angelo Madsen Minax, who picks up his camera when he returns to his Michigan hometown after the death of a family member. While there, his relationships and familial nuances shed light on his own trans identity. North by Current premiered earlier this year at Berlin and Tribeca. The last of the 3 Completion Fund films showing this year is Fanny, The Right to Rock, directed by Bobby Jo Hart, who Frameline viewers might remember from her earlier film, Rebels on Point. The new film debuted at Hot Docs and recounts the trajectory of the all-women, mainly Filipino rock band Fanny, a band that inspired a slew of 70s rock bands, though the band never quite saw the same level of success due to sexism and homophobia in the music industry. We're thrilled to be presenting their story at this international premiere of Fanny, which kicks off our drive-in screenings on June 10th at the Westwind Solano Drive-In. We've got a trailer from the film, so let's roll it.
This is a girl with an instrument on. So, okay, this is a game changer.
Fanny was the first all-women rock band that could really play and really get some credibility within the musician community.
So we broke through that barrier, and it wasn't through talking. We just fucking did it.
Hi, my name is Sam Berliner. I use he and they pronouns, and I'm a programmer with Frameline 45. The first film I want to recommend is the animated short film, Are You Still Watching?, that plays in the NB Love Shorts program. Jamie is a 20-something non-binary femme living in Melbourne, is single and bored and perpetually horny. This zany in-your-face short gives you a front row seat to Jamie's lockdown-induced fantasies about queer celebrities and freshly baked bread. It is a true homage to the power of the queer imagination, something we could all use more of. So be sure to check out Are You Still Watching in the NB Love Shorts program. You'll be glad you did. And now for something completely different, the second film I want to recommend is the feature documentary Being Thunder. Sharente is a two-spirit teenager in the Narragansett tribe in Rhode Island. He uses he, him pronouns, and let me tell you, Sharente is fierce. He dances in powwow competitions with cis girls and other young women and is deeply connected to the tribe's history and ancestors. One of the things that makes this film so powerful is how eloquent, inspiring, poised, and courageous Shirente is when it comes to defending himself and the well-being of his tribe. Shirente's name means big thunder, and he lives up to that name, never being silenced or ignored, and always challenging and pushing to create his place in the world. You really don't want to miss Being Thunder. Check out this clip.
Both of my parents have had immediate family members taken from them by citizens of Rhode Island. Hate crimes. And to this day, my parents must walk defiantly in a world that wants to take them too. A world that wants to take their children. A world that wants to take the words out of their little mouths when they open to say, "We are Nahagansek."
Hi, I'm James, the Executive Director of Frameline. I'm so thrilled with this huge lineup of films. Allegra and the whole programming team have done an amazing job. And having this festival be available nationwide, as well as reopening the Castro Theatre, these are both amazing things that I'm so thrilled we're doing. So before mentioning some of my favorite films, I'd love to give a shout out to some of our very special sponsors who make this happen. First up, Gilead, our returning premier partner, who is also a sponsor of our first ever national outreach program, underwriting tickets to 5 LGBTQ+ nonprofits and their clients in cities nationwide. Bank of America also returns in an expanded premier partnership, also co-sponsoring our national outreach program, ensuring that our Frameline 45 films will be seen in more homes nationwide this June. Showtime, who have consistently championed queer visibility and storytelling through their amazing content and also their groundbreaking Queer to Stay grant-making programming work with the Trevor Project to help save LGBTQ+ spaces nationwide. San Francisco Pride, our longtime friends and a special Frameline 45 premiere sponsor and co-presenting partner of our first ever Pride movie nights at Oracle Park, presented with the San Francisco Giants. Warner Media. We're so excited to partner with Warner Media this year as the latest extension of our decades-long relationship with HBO. This year, we're partnering for the special presentation of In the Heights at Pride Movie Night at Oracle Park. Alaska Airlines. As the Bay Area reopens this June, we're thrilled to be able to welcome back some of our queer filmmakers and industry guests in person, thanks to the continued generosity of Alaska Airlines. So be sure to check out our Frameline distribution titles on your next Alaska Airlines flight. Tomorrow Partners. This year, we happily welcome back Tomorrow Partners, a returning premier creative partner from the past and who designed all of our gorgeous and playful all kinds of queer design this year. And Hilton San Francisco Union Square, who will generously welcome back our filmmakers and guests in June. If you're coming to SF for Frameline 45, consider booking your stay with a great team at Hilton San Francisco Union Square. So thank you to all of those amazing partners. And now for some more films. So Frameline loves screening films made by Bay Area filmmakers. There's just so much talent right here at home. So I'm going to give a quick rundown of some of them. First up, Baloney, a documentary about the sexy burlesque show. Genderation, a terrific follow-up to the 90s groundbreaking documentary Gendernauts, set here in San Francisco. In the Heights, the director of John M. Chu is from the Bay Area, and this major film is our first ballpark film. Nellie Queen, The Life of Jose Sarria, which is a lovely tribute to the San Francisco icon. Prognosis, Notes on Living, a moving documentary about the director's own death, completed by her friends after her passing. No Straight Lines, The Rise of Queer Comics, a fantastic documentary about queer comics, including Alison Bechdel. This will close the festival at the Castro Theatre. Raw Uncut Video. This film will have no problem selling tickets. A documentary about Palm Drive Video, a local porn studio that made films celebrating fetishes. And A Sexplanation, a highly amusing documentary about sex and sex education. So, what else do I want you to see? Well, Metamorphosis by Jose Enrique Tiaglo. This is a really stunning film, and one that I know will be loved by everyone who sees it. So write it down right now. This is a Filipino film about a young intersex person who up until present time has identified as male. It's a film about first crushes, family, and friendships. It's a film about finding yourself. Everyone I know who sees this film becomes obsessed with it, so don't miss this one. And also another recommendation, the big one. Everybody's Talking About Jamie by Jonathan Butterall. This is the second huge outdoor Oracle Park screening. This is an adaptation of the West End hit musical, which is also coming to Broadway in 2022. It tells the story of 16-year-old Jamie, who lives in a blue-collar English town with a dream of performing on stage as a drag queen. This is not a coming-out movie. Jamie is out and proud, and it's full of beautiful moments. And look, nothing I can say about this film will say it better than the trailer. So we're about to show it to close this launch event. Just first, a reminder, the festival runs between 10 and 27th of June, and tickets are on sale now, so visit frameline.org today and grab yours. So, to close the show, everybody's talking about Jamie.
Drag queen should be feared. You won't believe the power it gives you.
I don't just want to be one, I have to be one.
Stop waiting for permission to be you.
Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be.
You are the bravest person I know. You're like Beyonce.
No.
Mom, do you ever wish I were just normal?
No. Never.
And you don't even know.